we're thinking about this kind of as a landscape. You know, your point about technology is there to serve the business, and I've been in product management roles for years, and you know, product management is all about trying to provide that connection tissue between what the tech can do and where the business needs to go. And as we think about what we're trying to achieve in partnership with RDK, it is about enabling business models, because obviously that's what feeds the business. And you can always put yourself in the shoes of the product managers within the operator. And what do they need to do? Well, they've got to get the three things right. They've got to get, you know, best-in-class product. First, it's got to zing. It's got to light up the screen. It's got to look fantastic. It's got to have a fantastic experience. Non-negotiable. It has to carry all the premium apps. It has to have differentiated local content. The product has to shine and be something that people go back to every day. The second block is around, you know, operationally, you know, has to work. Video has to play every time, has to work on every screen, has to be secure. So those content owners, those premium apps, are not going to work with an operator where there's not assurance of security through the end-to-end. Has to be flawless service quality, has to always be up. Classic operator operations stuff. There's a third leg, which is around fit for future. So that's kind of, this market is the most exciting place to be, in my view, but that means it's always changing. And our customers need to evolve with the market. It's not about getting a service to air quickly, that's important. It's not just about rolling out at low cost, that is important, but it's really about being able to adapt and change with the market, try things out, test, play. And you know, that's where that old monolithic stack is dead, right? The beauty of, you know, open source with an assembly of reusable components in order to deploy differentiated solutions and evolve those over time. That's the key to the future, and that's what gets us excited.
Sorry, I just saw an interesting question come in that I must just throw at you, just about live. It's a little bit a left field one, but it kind of piqued my interest when I saw it. Is live sports the last frontier for pay TV operators? It kind of ties into the question around premium content, the value of live sports. Obviously, there's large sums of money involved. Yeah. So I thought it might be an interesting one just for somebody to comment on. Don't know who's best positioned. But
I'll have a quick go and you tip in. So I think within a super aggregation play, I think you can look at live sports differently. One is you're going to want to carry the big rights holding apps, right? So you know, whether that, depending on your market, whether that's DAZN or Prime or ESPN or whoever else, but within your bundle, you're going to be able to want to carry whoever's made that heavyweight investment. You want to be able to carry that app within your bundle. I think that's important to have a valid proposition to the consumer. I think the very interesting thing we see at and one thing to say generally is when you're carrying those apps, you're in a low margin space, right? Because you haven't bought the rights, you're carrying someone else's content. So that's a low margin space to be, but you make money through the bundle. I think what we see with smart local operators is complementing live sports from those premium apps with investment in local sports that aren't being carried by the big guys, that are important to the local market. And each geography, that will be a slightly different thing. It might be a college sports thing, or it could be a particularly niche sport that is very important to the nation, but not important globally. And by building an intimate relationship with those sports federations, actually investing in actually kids and talent and grassroots, that's how you kind of get the brand as being relevant to the community, and that's how you differentiate from the big global players. And I think the trick with super aggregation is to play at both those levels, play with the best of the global playing field while building intimate, local, differentiated stuff with the local guys.
Anything to add?
Right, it is a very interesting question actually. So, to Steve's point, the niche content versus the live sports, which is a fundamental part of what's been traditional pay TV. But I think there's another aspect today, which is we've all seen with music how the move into the connected space has resulted in a reduction in the ARPU, if you like. And from that perspective, I think while live sports is both, it is a frontier, but can also be an initial one to actually win the super aggregation business today. But I think the generation of revenue, and that's why the super aggregation platform is so important, is not just about the content, it's what you do around the content. Now, live sports, incredibly important because there's branding around it, there's advertising around it, there's branded merchandise around it. And when you have an ecosystem like RDK and a super aggregator platform, you'll see experimentation and adapt, experiment, and lead. This is something that a telco and a pay TV operator that's bundling, they're going to have all that content and the niche content and the sport on a single subscription to get rid of that horrible, I want to watch this movie, but it's only on Apple, or which account am I paying for that? To have that all managed in one ecosystem, D2C on the retail devices, on the app, and on the managed devices, you're able to see all of this. And I'd like to, so that was the one half, so no, it's not a final frontier, it's the start of having the platform. There's another massive, we work with a lot of satellite operators. Satellite operators have a network, and they're used to broadcasting, right? For live sport, where you have 1 million users logging on for an hour, there's an absolute brilliant use case there where you can introduce your OTT, and you can just connect your users straight to your broadcast feed, and then your CDN costs go down. And if there's bad weather, you connect users across. So when we talk about a platform and managing costs, you've now got a killer use case to compete against other vendors in the market. So from our perspective, our focus on super aggregation is because we believe that the groups in the industry that are in the best position to manage that single sign-on managed branded ecosystem on an RDK open source-based platform, they're in the best position to control the costs if they go this. The last thing they want to do is fragment it at that basic level we talked about, or at a security level.
So you're flipping the hybrid thing from being a way of embracing a legacy footprint of users to actually turning it into a business advantage, right?
Differentiator, yeah.
I think it's interesting.
It was a very good question. Thanks for. I just thought I'd throw it in there because, just to come back to what you're just talking about. I mean, the three pillars: product, operations, future roadmap, and Bruce, you mentioned about being able to have access to the RDK roadmap and how that might help you future-proof the roadmap for your customers, right? We're going to be talking about Lightning also quite a lot today. So I have a question for you, Bruce. I mean, the Lightning. How would that help?
Right. Yeah. So Lightning's been quite exciting for us because indeed our key differentiator is we're a managed platform. We support managed platforms for pay TV operators, and the security for that, right? And we've got today the solutions require us to be able to demo to large customers and show them both value with the security, but also bring leadership on the platform. And one of the great things, if you start with this certified RDK platform that we've been talking about with a security in it, we're able to use things like DAL because it's in the open source repository of RDK. We're able to bring matter type services. We can consider, talking with the broadband router that came up in the early conversation. And Lightning is the key point where we can unify that across all the devices that matter to the consumer. Puck, set-top box, puck with tuner, TV. This is very powerful. Yeah.
I mean, I'll just say, just at a personal level, I've been with Bruce at IBC for the last few days, and it's the first chance you've had to show the new Lightning kind of UI UX experience on top of the RDK stack. And seeing operators light up in front of that has been beautiful. And it's been even more beautiful watching Bruce light up in response. It's been a wonderful thing, and it's been a great few days from that point of view.
So is it then the case? Just maybe I'm jumping, just crossing across maybe to the operations side. And you mentioned all the different devices and managing all the different devices, very, very complex. Is that where RDK is then helping the operator to manage that complexity across all those devices?
So I was going to really quickly say is that the reality is there's no green fields anymore, right? So everybody has this diversity of footprint out there from other business initiatives over the years, different technical initiatives over the year. That's just out there, and you've got to deal with it. And at the same time, there's this kind of golden opportunity ahead that people want to pursue. And the question is, how do I pursue the opportunity while embracing the legacy and that footprint? And that's where, that's exactly where RDK fits with the kind of stack that we'll put on top of it. But
yeah, maybe on a closing point, we're interested in managed platforms, but also supporting operators in how to use the unmanaged platforms of D2C, and of course selling security point solutions to D2C, right? So on a final point, RDK's value there is not to define the solution too far, but to make sure that you can certify and grow that open source as quickly as possible for different profiles. We're interested in super aggregation, but there's many other profiles that RDK can support. And it's to actually make sure that you can make sure that the vendors in the ecosystem have a great roadmap, are able to certify their profiles. We're interested in the Thunder services that matter for video and super aggregation, but others are interested in broadband, camera. And if you put all that together, it goes back to what Jason said, standardization of the platform profiles that you build and the ability to certify that, work with different partners to manage. Irdeto is one of those, build great end-to-end solutions on zero, and freedom to differentiate on your business models on those platforms.
Yeah, I think, we've kind of run out of time, unfortunately. I've got a lot more questions to ask you guys, but I think you're next door as well, showing off the RDK video accelerator work that you've been doing. So I'd recommend people go out there and take a look at it, and have a chat with you're around for the rest of the day as well, just to connect. So yeah, unfortunately I can't. I don't have any more time to ask you no questions, so I just want to, again, thanks. It's been a great collaboration so far, and look forward to what the future might bring. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks.